no way on earth that he's going to fight me. Not a chance. I will retire Jon Jones without even fighting him.
Jon Jones called us last night and retired. Jon Jones is officially retired. Tom Aspinall is the heavyweight champion of the UFC.
Jon Jones, the greatest fighter of all time, the best fighter in UFC history, just retired. I went on an ESPN Deportes podcast called Área de Combate a couple of weeks ago, and I was asked, do I think Jon Jones will fight Tom Aspinall? And I said yes. But quickly, soon after, with a lot of stuff that Jon Jones has been saying, I realized that was a ridiculous thing to say. He is scared of Tom Aspinall. And I didn't want to say that before. I didn't want to imagine that the heavyweight champion of the world, the greatest fighter of all time in many people's eyes, the greatest heavyweight, one of the most talented combat athletes we've ever seen in the world, was scared of somebody. But I don't think he was necessarily scared of Tom Aspinall. He was scared of losing. And I think in an interview recently, he mentioned that his whole identity is attached to the idea of winning.
If I were to ever lose, I would be devastated. I'd be angry and I'd be upset and depressed. That's just my winning nature.
He's just so attached to the idea of winning, the identity of winning. And I think seeing himself with that visual of getting knocked out by Tom Aspinall is something he couldn't even process and begin to process. And I don't think his ego would have been able to handle that. And that's why we've seen him retire. I was planning on making a video about Jon Jones and Tom Aspinall. Obviously, everybody is. But I don't think Jon Jones is retired forever. If he is, God bless him. He deserves to be retired. If this is a truly final decision, you know what? He's one of the greatest fighters ever in the cage. He had nothing else to prove. It just sucked that he took so long to make this decision. I don't know if it's final. I still think there's an element in him that he wants to fight. He wants to fight against someone like Alex Pereira, where he knows there's an easier avenue towards victory. Going up against Tom Aspinall is just a challenge that I don't think he's willing to take at this point of his career. It's too risky. Tom is too powerful. Shortest amount of octagon time in UFC history. He's bigger than Jon Jones. He's faster than Jon Jones. And I think at the end of the day, the greatest of all time has run away from this fight. He has. I have no issue with him retiring. I think, there's nothing else he has to prove. I think there's a lot of fighters who go on too long, especially when they've accomplished the things that Jon Jones has in this sport. So I'm not saying that he needs to stick around to fight Tom Aspinall, but I do believe the reason he's retiring is because he's scared of that fight. That's what I'm saying. What do you guys think about Jon Jones retiring? It's crazy big news, and I think Dana White is obviously very upset of being kind of pulled along for all of these months. So, UFC Baku, huge success. Jon Jones has retired. I will see you next week for all the International Fight Week content, and you never know, your boy might be in Vegas. So, subscribe to the Backseat Fighter YouTube channel, like and comment, all of that good stuff. I want to hear what you have to say, and I will see you next week. I've been Charlie Bins. Bye-bye.